An article that I wrote back in 2015. Why wait until January? It's actually still relevant today. People are literally sat at their desk now. They don't take as many calls. Don't ease off. Come January 1st, I'm going to be rammed. Absolutely use this time to get a hold of those elusive decision makers because they are hard to get on the phone. Welcome to the Fake Marketer, everybody. We're back.
This is episode 30 now, I think.
30. I'm not
30
Irish.
tree.
You look like a leprechaun.
Good start.
Sorry, get that in early. Well, Nick's not here, is he? So I haven't got anybody to give grief to.
Again.
He's not here again, so which is good because he wasn't supposed to be here, like we said last time. So back to normal service resumed. But how are we, Michael? You all right?
I'm good, yeah.
Yeah?
I'm good. I feel G'd up on fleet data.
From the last podcast?
Yeah.
Mate, game changer. Game changer. But today we are going to be discussing an article that I wrote back in 2015, which is why wait until January, but it's actually still relevant today. So we're going to discuss that. But as always, Michael, we start with what advertising and what marketing have we seen this week that has caught your eye, has put a little glitter in your little eye. So a few weeks ago we discussed and we went through the Christmas adverts, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did say at the time, Amazon needs to win that hands down. DLMDD, I believe the agency is.
Shout
out, but chaps,
you took their prize away,
ladies, you're about to lose. And
they were so happy that they got the James seal of approval.
Well, they still do, but the problem is they've been
usurped.
What does that word mean?
It means like they were at the top and now somebody else has taken their spot.
That word there. And it's that little Irish pub. Have you seen it?
Is it with the old guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen that.
They have absolutely nailed it.
It looked really simple as well. It looked like something like we could film. Like it didn't look that complicated.
By we, me, you mean you.
Yeah.
No, amazing. Really, really good. And it actually brought a bit of a tear to my, because I lost my nan recently. So I was like, oh, got it. It was amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that like shows like if you've got a good like story or heart to it, it doesn't matter like all the sort of bells and whistles on it. It just needs to just be.
Yeah, amazing. And so unfortunately, Amazon and DLMDD, I am retracting that statement. And I'm going to give it to the little Irish pub, which we need to. You're obviously on this. You'll put this on the clips or whatever you do. But yeah, it was brilliant.
I like that though. That like Amazon, such a massive corporation, can be like they can sort of be overtaken by just like probably just two people or however many people made that.
Well, some of the award we won last year for the best social media campaign, we were up against tanks, titans of industry, and we won.
That's good though. That shows that it's not like just about your name.
Well, we did make a company £1 million in 72 hours, so I do hope that had won.
Yeah,
but it didn't win some categories in some places. But I'm not going to discredit those award ceremonies because we will be back. When I've remortgaged. So I'm gonna that for me has piqued my interest this week. Anything from you?
Put me on the spot now.
You can say no.
I wasn't ready for the last podcast. I'm not ready for. I'm sure there is, but I just don't remember.
No, that's good. Well, let's crack on, Michael, because we don't have to hear about Nick pretending to run 22 minutes when he never ran 22 minutes. Which can I just quickly say, Michael? I knew he hadn't run 22 minutes because just because the amount of runs and he trains.
But you didn't want to like crush him.
No, I didn't want to crush his dreams. But 23 minutes is still very good. So kudos, Nick. Well done. But it wasn't 22. But we're going to be discussing an article I wrote in December the 18th, 2015, which is why wait until January. And this is one for me that I get not frustrated with, I get confused. So we're in December 5th now, and already in the office here, you can see people are getting a little bit jolly, having their mince pies and their mulled wine. And I'm not saying people have stopped working, but there's definitely an air of chill.
Yeah, we'll do it next year.
Yeah. And I think it's mad because December is one of those months where people are genuinely in a better mood, right? Genuinely in a better mood. Would you want to speak to someone in January when they're miserable because it's cold, wet, and they've got nothing to look forward to, or in December when they're happy?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's December, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. So salespeople and marketers, not so much marketers, more salespeople. I know this is the Fake Marketer podcast, but they switch off a bit and they're like, "Oh, I'll wait till Jan." Absolutely not. Get on the phone now, because everyone else, competitors of yours, will be shutting off. Literally now. They will not be calling. They will not be emailing. They will be not setting up meetings. And again, I wrote this article nearly 10 years ago, which is...
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit scary, actually, Michael. So I'll read the article out, actually. Oh, do you want to read it out, Michael? Will you read it out? You're quite good at reading.
I'm reading out the whole article.
Oh, yeah, it's literally a 2-second read.
Oh, yeah, it's not that long. I've never understood why salespeople switch off in December. They're crazy, right? Or is it just me? December is the only month where people for 2 weeks of the year sit at their desk and try everything in their power not to work. So why aren't we using these 2 weeks to gain more prospects? I started my sales career in December and still to this day, so glad I did. It gave me 4 weeks to really iron out a few things and gave me confidence going into the new year. Looking back now, I wish I'd started on November 1st. Most sales staff complain that they struggle to get hold of the elusive decision maker, but December is prime time to get them. If you're single, go on Tinder. If you're hungry, go to McDonald's. If you're looking for Christmas presents, go on Amazon. If you want to have more conversations with decision makers, call in December. It's nice, I like that.
It's good, that.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm quite surprised I could write to that level 10 years ago, Michael. Very impressed with that.
Why wait until January when you hear you will hear this famous phrase, "I'm really busy as we've been off during Christmas and I'm just getting back into the swing of things." I'm not saying December is going to be the month to eclipse all others, but I am stressing to use this time more effectively. If you want your pipeline on January 4th to look like your shopping bill for Christmas, then get hold of these elusive decision makers before they are too busy in January. You have 4 days left.
It's a good article.
Yeah, it's pithy. I like that. It's sort of straight to the point.
You won't get any great, but I and it still resonates with me today.
It's an evergreen article. That.
It's an evergreen article, but I discussed it with Jason in the data side, which is, look, people are literally sat at their desk now, just not chilling, but they don't take as many calls. As in, like, they don't set many calls. They don't take, they don't do much work. They're just sort of like in a jolly little mood.
Or they're like planning stuff for here's what we'll do next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So get hold of them, and genuinely, they will take your calls. They might not be in market today, but again, what we were saying on the last podcast, which is around obviously data. Do you want to be the people they think of when you're in market? Now is that prime time. Like me, probably I'm a really bad example really at the moment because I'm rammed, but most marketing managers, most decision makers, most owners of businesses will naturally just ease off now till the end of the year, especially after this week. So when you go into next week, the next 2 weeks, you'll see a real sort of real ease off. Don't ease off. Like, absolutely use this time to get a hold of, like I've said there, those elusive decision makers, because they are hard to get on the phone. If you're cold calling, fleet days like we said in the last one, or you're calling old leads maybe, try it now, especially in the B2B market. Like, absolutely hammer that door down, because the second that final week comes to Christmas, or especially the few days running up to the end of it, so I think it's the 22nd, 21st this year, the Thursday and the Friday, you are going to struggle to get hold of people. Absolutely. But on the Thursday, absolutely, like, continue calling and getting these people on the phone because they will answer.
I suppose even if they're not like looking to do stuff now, you're like, if you can get yourself in the diary or whatever for January, you're then at the front of the queue, aren't you? Because if you wait until January to call them, then you're now with everybody else who's trying to get hold of them. Whereas if you've done it beforehand, you're like, you're in there.
I know what'll happen for me in January. I'll walk in January, and we'll have to do a bit over Christmas. But I know that come January 1st or 2nd, whichever day it is, I'm going to be rammed. Absolutely rammed. So people trying to selling to us, and it's not me being rude. It's the last thing on my mind.
You're closed off then, aren't you?
Closed off. I'm sorting out. If someone called me next week, like, again, I'm a bad example at the moment, but let's say someone called me next week, I'd probably be more inclined to take the call next week than I am on January the 1st week.
Yeah, you'd at least like
January.
Consider it or hear them out.
And the problem is it takes time to actually convert people. So if you're going to wait till January, you're already giving yourself 4-week delay. If your average sales cycle is 12 weeks, well, start now, February, or start now in March. Like, you'll still hit your Q1 figure, depending on how your sales figures work or your sales targets work. But it just seems, it's one of those months where it's as if everyone shuts off.
Mm-hmm.
Industry, across all industries. And I still don't understand why they do it.
Yeah, because you can do a bit of work now to get ahead everybody else going forward, can't you?
100%.
And I suppose, as you say, if the sales cycle to get them involved takes a while, then if you call them now, even if you don't get anywhere, then if you call them again in January, you'll be like, oh, we've spoken, they've had time to mull it over then, haven't they?
Well, you're trying to book in meetings, though. Typically, when we're trying to convert business here, we'll put people in the diary, and it's there then. Mm-hmm. It's when you're not in the diary, that's when you're in a bad position, because you are forgot about.
Yeah.
I have this discussion with Jason quite a bit, actually, which is around put something in the diary. Don't rest on your laurels and think they remember you. Unfortunately, clients won't. There'll always be someone trying to eat your lunch all the time.
I like that phrase.
Mate, someone is always trying to eat your lunch. And it's true. So you've got to make sure that you are protecting that lunch as much as possible. Whether it be data, social, whatever we do here, we've got to make sure that, we are, giving our clients as much value as possible. So if they take that call, it's I'm never leaving Let's on Social, I'm never leaving MIB, or I'm never leaving the ads clinic. They don't need to. They've got the best dinner in front of them. Mm. They're not going anywhere else. And that's why you want to make sure, like, again, December is that people are more willing to take the calls. What if a competitor does call one of your clients?
What if the competitors call?
What if they call in December and they catch them on the right day because they're jolly? Just had a mulled wine. Do you know what? Yeah, I'd be up for a chat. I'm annoyed with my account manager or XYZ. All it takes. All it takes. One of the client that you were with yesterday with Applause, they've had a change of quite a few agencies this year. And we're one of the ones that have come in because they came in to see me at a talk in Manchester, and obviously now they've become a client. It took 18 months to get those as a client. So we're going to make sure that, we do everything in our power to deliver results and make sure the experience they have with us is incredible. All the stuff that you did with the guys yesterday, brilliant. I can't wait to see the results, the actual videos tomorrow, but, really, really good, good value and a good experience, because it does only take one little call in and there's a meeting in the diary, and then it's actually, we don't get this with our agency or our, do your, and then suddenly you potentially lost a client, and all it takes is that.
Mm. And if they do it and you don't, then they're quids in and you're out in the cold, isn't it? Like the Venus flytrap.
I'm still baffled by that.
Still reeling.
I just don't get it. It's not that I'm reeling. I just don't really understand.
Yeah, I've seen some when I was googling it for the podcast to put like clips in, and people have been like, John Lewis's great Christmas ad. And I'm just a bit like, yeah. I feel like it's like they could just have a blank screen with a logo for 3 minutes, and everyone would be like, oh, it's really thought provoked. Like, I feel like they've got that big where they're just sort of.
Do you know what I was going to do yesterday?
People are going to say how good they are regardless.
What I was really annoyed yesterday is that, and I ballsed up here, Michael. And I have to take it on my. I have to take full blame for this. But Rockstar Games did the GTA
GTA 6.
6. Yeah.
I didn't know you even would know about this. I'm on it.
Michael, it's my jam.
Is it? I didn't really.
Well, yeah, growing up as a kid, like that was my first GTA 1 and 2, and then when Vice City came out, was it Vice City?
Yeah, Vice City.
It was the first one, wasn't it? No,
Vice City was one of like the first ones that people like got on board.
No, it was the one before that. What was the one? Oh, it's incredible. Well, anyway, look, like they've racked up views upon views with that trailer.
I think it's the highest viewed
49
YouTube
million
video in 24 hours. Used to be Mr. Beast. It got overtaken.
Yeah, incredible. But what I was going to do is, Rockstar and Extra Social present. So I totally messed up yesterday. Totally messed up. So I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, that whole thing has been really. I was going to sort of bring it up last time, but I didn't really know how we could put a spin on it with Mark. But do you know about like the whole stuff that went on with that?
What, the GTA 6 trailer?
Yeah, like why it came out like that, because it was supposed to come out today or tomorrow.
It got leaked, didn't it?
Yeah, it got leaked, so then they got ahead of it and put the actual trailer out. But then before that, there was some kid who put out he put out like 10 seconds or something of GTA 6 on like TikTok and was like, oh yeah, I'll put out some more. And everyone was like, oh, this is just some random kid who's like filmed his PlayStation on his phone. It's nothing to do with it. Turns out his dad is head of Rockstar North, which is like the whole of like Europe or something.
I actually found out who it was.
So this kid, like, obviously filmed his dad's computer that had actual GTA 6 on it and just put it out on, like, Twitter. So obviously everyone found his name and then found out who his dad was. So, like, that came out and then they announced about the trailer and then that got leaked and then they put out the actual... It's just madness, isn't it? Some kid would just be like, oh, yeah, you go. Just film it on his phone.
Fair play.
Just for a few
But
likes.
I didn't realise that's coming out in 2025.
Yeah. The GTA 5 came out in 2013, so it's been 12 years since the last one. People were like, at this rate, there's going to be like 2 more GTAs before like I die because they come out on such a slow release schedule.
Well, the world has changed in that time, so I'm intrigued to see. We can't. Yeah, they were good games. I enjoyed those. But yeah, so I messed up with that.
GTA didn't rest on their laurels with Rockstar in December. They could have waited till January to put it out. But
No, they could have. But I think with that one, it's more along the lines of it's Christmas, isn't it? People in that buying mood. They want to start planting the seed. I know it's over a year's time. It's so long.
But it'll probably get people buying the older games and stuff, thinking about it.
Exactly that. So yeah, December is one of those months where a lot of companies, and naturally, because you're only really working only 3 weeks of the year, 3 weeks of that month, sorry. And it's one of those months where it can get a bit like, oh, just get it over with now. I'm in party season, Christmas parties, client parties that we're at. And it is good fun, but don't stop. Just don't stop prospecting and canvassing and marketing. Keep getting the message out there. Those in the e-commerce space are clearly, obviously, run up to Christmas. They're in, their sales will be up. E-commerce sites, all the rest of it. But from a B2B perspective, and you are on the phone, you're trying to set appointments ready for next year, or you're selling services. Use this time effectively. Do not sit there and go, oh, I'll just catch them up in January. Just keep doing what you're doing. And in most cases, I'd say if you can do more. I've had the discussion with Jason, which is, mate, we've got to, we want to walk in January going, we've hit the ground running. But you've got to put the foundation in here and the legwork in here so that when January comes, everyone else is going, oh, I ain't got much in my pipeline. Ours is bursting. It's full. It's just like, whoa.
It's like, all those guys, who is it, like Matt Damon who always talk? Is it Matt Damon? Is he the one from Ted? Is that Matt Damon? No, that's not Matt Damon.
I always get them mixed up.
That's, what's his name?
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. He's the one who always talks about the gym, innit? And he's at the gym at like 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah, but
he's always like, well, while you're still sleeping, I'm already in the gym. So it's like the same thing, innit? Where it's like in the time that people are taking off, we're like still pumping iron.
Yeah, but he could just pump iron at a reasonable time, like 5.
No, it is ridiculous. He always talks about like the gym and like how he goes at like ridiculous time. If I put in Mark Wahlberg gym, will it actually come up?
Yeah, it's silly time.
4 a.m. schedule. Yeah, he has a 4 a.m. workout plan. But I suppose that's why he looks like he looks and I look like I look. I suppose. So.
I'm sure he wakes up to a house that's probably very well heated, and light.
He wakes up at 2:30 a.m. every morning.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to bed.
But that's the thing with those people where they brag about how early they wake up. It's like, yeah, but you have to go to bed about 7, don't you?
Have we stopped talking about December and it's like Mark
No,
Wahlberg?
I was just thinking. I was just like, whenever people are always like, "Oh, I'm up earlier than everybody," it's like, I get it, but also like, you got to go to bed.
But
early.
people be saying this about what we're saying here. People be going, "Yeah, well, we've got to switch off for Christmas." Yeah, switch off for Christmas, but not December.
Yeah, not
Christmas is
before.
not. Yeah. But what I loved is, actually, looking back at this now, which is, if you're single, go on Tinder. If you're hungry, go to McDonald's. That would have been now. If I'd have written that now, that'd have been, if you're hungry, go on Just Eat. If you're looking for Christmas presents, go on Amazon. That hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
If you're single, go on Tinder. That wouldn't change. If you want to have more conversations with decision makers, call in December.
Still the same message.
10 years later.
People are commenting saying they agree, which is good.
So they should, but that was 10 years ago. So that, Michael, that is, I think that's a wrap. I think that's it. We've done another podcast without Nick. On the next one, he should be here.
Which is good or bad, depending on... I think Nick's good on here, to be fair. We razz Nick a bit, but, you know.
Do you reckon he'll wear his boots again?
I've got another clip from the last podcast where he went into talking about his boots again, which would be good. He just like slyly brought it up and then he was off on one again.
The problem is, Nick and I have worked together for so many years.
Yeah, you know what pushes his buttons.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's fantastic.
I can just tell I can see you just like sprinkling it down and then
little touch of
the little.
Come on, Nick.
You put in the little line and then Nick like a fish straight in.
Yeah, he's done. But that's it, Michael. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Michael.
That's all right. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Editor.
30 episodes.
Is this episode 30?
Mm-hmm, in the bag.
We've not missed a week.
Have we not? It's good.
And we're not going to.
Dedication.
So we'll do another 2 next week. But now we're rambling. But everyone, thank you for listening to The Vape Marketer. We will have some news around a product we're bringing to market next year. So keep listening to about the 8 of you that have listened to this. About the 2 on YouTube, if that. But we'll continue and we'll press on.